Coach, how are your linebackers looking?
Good, good. We've got a good group. We've got a young group, and then we moved Bryson over from Will linebacker to Jack linebacker, so that gives me another senior, and a lot of fun. Very athletic, very eager. We're getting better every day. We've got a lot on. I mean, for day 5, there's a lot of defense on, and they're picking it up, and that's really exciting.
Joey's second year in, do you kind of have maybe a better grasp too of exactly what you want out of those guys and what Coach Aranda and Coach Roberts want?
No doubt. I mean, you think about it, like we didn't get this time last year, and I said it before, the first time I ever coached with Coach Roberts was in the fall, and so we're learning the defense, and we're putting all the little nuances together, and now going through a full season and going through the winter condition and everything, understanding exactly what they want, and we're trying to give it to them. We're getting better at it.
What kind of gains physically have you seen amongst your guys from the offseason?
That's fun. Like last year, Vic played at somewhere between 215 and 217. He's 227 right now. Tony, he's right around 246. Bryson was probably about 205. He's around 212. Ashton, he's been a little sick, but he's usually about 245. So big gains with our guys. I think another one like Will Garner, who's come over with me, he's like at 220 right now. I think when you see pictures of them, I always look at the stuff of like the views from the practice, and you can see, how jacked those guys are getting.
When you look at the linebackers as a whole, outside, inside, off y'all's whole linebacker core, it looks like, you've got some depth there. Do you guys feel that it's a pretty talented and deeper group, maybe?
I think it's one of the best groups in the Big 12 and in the country. Especially whenever you get the leader of that defense with Terrell Bernard back, Dylan Doyle. Matt Jones has gone inside to add depth. We know we can play Jack linebacker, so that's able to add depth. You're talking about having a great spring. Matt Jones is having a great spring. Abe being able to play whenever Terrell was out, and then you add my guys. I feel comfortable with 3 or 4 of them. If we had to play tomorrow, there'd be a really good rotation. They've got a good idea of what's going on.
Do you feel like the energy and excitement from spring ball starting is still up there, or is there a bit of a dip in week 2?
No, today was our really kind of true first back-to-back padded day, so I know they're a little tired, but I think, at the end when we're competing, when you put the ball down here at Baylor, then our guys are going to compete, and I thought you saw that back and forth. There was a couple of interceptions, a couple of trick plays for touchdowns, so it's kind of right now going back and forth of who's winning that period and winning the day.
Joey, you mentioned Victor and Tony, 2 names at your spot.
Right.
Tell me what you see in them and kind of maybe how they've developed. What are you seeing from those guys?
Tony is very, very physical, very strong, heavy-handed. This is one of the guys you hear a lot of people like whenever he puts his hands on you, I don't care if you're a 320-pound tackle, he's going to be able to stop you or really control you. He's got really heavy hands. Vic is more of that speed rush guy that's going to help us get to the quarterback. But he also, because he is so long and he's got long arms, he's been able to hold up in there in the run game. But, as a group, I couldn't be more pleased with what's going on.
So you said Bryson Jackson and Will Garner are now.
They're both Jack linebackers. Yeah. I have Tony, Vic, Ashton, Logan, Bryson Jackson, Will Garner, and then Strauss. He came out through our walk-on program, and so he's been over there. And when we're in our odd, like true outside linebacker stuff, he's really picking that up quick because that's what he played in high school.
So is the star more safety then?
Star's more the safety. Now we're working some stuff where there's 2 of my guys on the field. So, but we'll see. It's hard. Jalen Petrie's another one. I said Terrell Bernard. Those 2 guys right there, they're as good as anybody in the country. And so you don't want them standing next to Coach Roberts or me whenever the defense is on the field. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt. No, me too. Me too. I tell him all the time if I look like him, I'd coach my shirt off. So.
How's the speed they've been playing with? Does it seem like things are connecting quickly and
They are. They're playing. You know, there's some things. Again, like I said, we have a lot on, which is good. It's you know, putting us in situations to where we've got to think quick. We always talk about winning pre-snap, and so that's our alignment, our assignment. Get our eyes on our key, and then when that ball is snapped, it's stimulus and response. And so they're playing pretty fast. There's some things that we've got to get better at, having more eye discipline as the play goes on. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
What kind of juice, no pun intended, because there is a coach juice, but what kind of juice have the new coaches brought to the table?
Well, I've known Coach Grimes for, since 2003 maybe. And so, you know, he's a good old Texas boy. And actually, two of my coordinators played for him at Hardin-Simmons. So I've known him really well. He's always come through. Coach Stuckey, great positive guy. Mateo, I think you're going to see as it grows how our offensive line grows. And, man, just a positive guy. He's not a new guy, but you want to talk about somebody really happy and bouncing around is Sean Bell. You know, my son said the other day at practice he's never seen Sean so happy being able to coach the quarterback. So it's a lot of fun.
Your son, Garrett, saw an article on the Panthers website. And, I mean, I know you've kind of spoken about it, but just how cool is his journey and being able to watch that?
Well, it's a lot of fun to watch and proud. Both my kids, you know, they're kind of rock stars. You know, I take all that from their mom, but they're both, you know, my daughter's in New York. She's a fashion designer, and then my son. They're both on the East Coast, and man, I'm true blue Texan, so it's hard to see them, you know, there. But really proud, you know, and it says a lot about the relationship that he had with the previous coaching staff and Coach Rule, and just how much they cared about each other. And then it was just awesome to see how Coach Aranda put his arm around him and really, you know, welcomed him in as a coach's kid.
What kind of things have you maybe witnessed with Aranda and kind of moving into this second year, learning from last year?
Right.
He obviously was quick to make some changes that he felt he needed to make, but have you seen some growth from him just as far as comfortability and heading into a second year?
Well, you know, I think you're always, you know, I remember, you know, like I said, I've been there, so I know, you know, you're getting your feet wet, and you got to, you know, understand your surroundings and everything that's going on. And man, just his presence, his message to the team every day, just class, that integrity, being a better person makes better players. I think y'all heard Coach Drew say that last night about his team. And so, yeah, there's definitely a different presence of, and also just I think him being comfortable in being that second year head coach and then going through spring.
Joey, have y'all been able to add stuff this spring? It seemed like maybe it was simple in the fall and it was effective. So have y'all been able to add things on the defensive side just in terms of schemes, whatever?
We have. There's probably you know, there's a couple things that we could put in on third down right now, but we have a lot. I mean, almost the entire base package is in, and then we've got some good blitzes in, a couple of change-ups from last year of what we're doing. So, you know, I know competitors probably watch this too, so I don't want to say too much, but we got a lot in, and we could go out and play and have a really good football game on the defensive side of the ball, you know, I think where we're at right now.
Is it a little different going against a different offense too?
It is, but it's really good. Coach, that offense, Coach Grimes puts a lot of stress on the defense. He puts a lot of stress on our position. And so there's a lot of things. It is awesome for us as a jackbacker, I think, as a star, because there's a lot of movement in that offense. So you've got to go, I'm a 5, now I'm a 7, now I'm a 9. You know, there's a lot of different changing parts. And so I think it stresses us, but it stresses us in a good way to get ready for some of the opponents in our conference that do that.
You enjoying basketball season?
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to end whenever y'all are done. But one, you know, I learned something from Kim Mulkey every single day I hear her talk. It crushed me last night. Me and Coach DJ and Q, we're all in my office, Coach Pallage, and man, we were going nuts at the end of the game, just cheering and man, I hated it, heartbroken for those girls and for her, but also so proud of those girls and man, just what they've done for the university. And it's hard to win, and she just comes back and does it every single year. So hats off to her. And man, if you can't learn her as a coach, if you can't learn how to coach and how to coach your kids and love on them, then there's something wrong. And then you turn around and, really Mulkey, Drew, and Tang are three of the reasons that I'm here. They talked to me through the transition, and, man, Tang and Drew are just awesome. I mean, just incredible. And to see how the guys played, I watched every second of it last night, and Tang and I kind of have this thing going back and forth. He started it in 19 when we were playing so well on defense, and he would always say defense travels. And no matter what you're doing on offense, the way they're defending the ball, then we're going to have a shot, and we'll see. There's a little tweet and a little fun jabs and everything of what's going on this weekend. I think we're going to show up and be ready. Well, you always got to be careful what you ask for.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
All right, thank y'all.
Well, speaking of that, you were a DB in high school. How much weight have you put on since coming to Baylor?
I put on 20 pounds since being here. I picked it up my redshirt freshman year.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And obviously that, comes in handy on the field. I mean, are you seeing those kind of gains throughout the program and throughout the defense with guys getting stronger?
Yes, sir. I'm seeing it with the young guys mostly, especially with Victor, Tony. Those guys are just, all the work that they put in the offseason is just coming into the spring, and just seeing them get comfortable and relaxing at that position is really a thing to see.
What's it like to play under Coach McGuire?
Playing under Coach McGuire, I would say it's a great opportunity to be with someone like that, with his work ethic and the way that he cares about us, and he wants all of us to be the guy. It's not just leaning on one guy. He's going to coach all of us the same and just as hard.
What's the competition like at that position? It seems like there's a lot of guys there, a lot of capable guys.
Yes, sir. The competition is really great, and like I said, those young guys are picking it up, and it's really pushing and adding fire to me to want to do well too, and make sure that I'm doing good every day because those guys are coming.
How comfortable are you in that position now that you just going into your second year at that specific position?
I would say I'm really comfortable at it at certain aspects as far as just run blocking, working on my pass rush and dropping. So I'm just trying to add things and get better at other things besides run block.
The defense was really solid last year. What areas do you guys still want to kind of get better at?
Everywhere, anywhere that we can. Any improvement that can be made, I think we want to make it.
How's the competition level?
Do we need to do that one over again?
No, it's all good.
How's the competition level this early in the spring between the defense and offense right now? Do you feel like you're pushing each other?
Yes, sir. Especially with it being early, so it's a lot of amped up. A lot of guys are excited to be out here playing football. It's real early, like I said. But yeah, the competition is great. Everyone's competing at a high level. Everyone's trying to get better, and everybody's pushing everybody.
How important is this time, Ashton? I mean, you guys didn't have it last year. So, yeah. I mean, how important is this to be out here, and how much are y'all enjoying that?
This is very important. I think that this is the time where you can really just improve, and you can play with mistakes but play fast, and we have time to correct them. So this is the big moment.
You make it home to Temple a lot?
I try not to go home so much because I know if I go home, I'll come back and I'm homesick again.
At least it's close by.
Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Joey talked about it. This new offense, has kind of put stress on you.
Yes.
As he said, it's a good stress, all right? It's getting you ready for what you're going to see.
Yes, sir. This offense is a lot of stretches, and we struggle with that. So just being able to see it every day, get better at it every day, is really something that I think that we need.
What kind of energy are you feeling as far as, a lot of new coaches coming in, strength and conditioning obviously changed as well. I've been hearing really good things about strength and conditioning. What have been your thoughts on that and just kind of the new faces around here?
I think the strength and conditioning coaches have been very good. I think they have added, I want to say, well, for me coming back sick, I've added like 5 pounds just from this last week. A lot of guys have been getting bigger. I think every guy on our O-line is 300 plus, so that's a big improvement. With the new faces, a lot of these coaches just love the game, and you could just tell that, with them being here, that it was a great choice for them to be here, and, they bring a lot of energy.
And you talked about the extra strength and the extra weight. Have you noticed that in the last couple of days with pads on, physicalities at a higher level?
Yes, sir. You can actually feel it when you're running. So when it gets hot, all that weight is weighing you down. But Yeah, it's you could tell with the old linemen, they're driving guys back. They're coming off the ball hard. The D-line, they're doing the same thing. Linebackers, everyone's is just being real physical.
I know it's not like regular campus, like normal, overall, but what's it like to see what your basketball teams have been doing? The men obviously booking the trip to the Final Four last night. How much are you guys talking about that, paying attention to that?
It's great because they're actually showing us what it looks like to be together and play as one. So watching those guys and those ladies is actually a lesson for us to see what championship teammates look like.
Who's the best basketball player on football?
Me.
Good answer.
I'll go tweet that. And we'll see.
Yeah.
See if we get some arguments.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Ashton. Appreciate you, man.